All right. Hello, everyone. It is Thursday, and it is our Make an Impact Day here at News 10. You may remember this familiar face, Ingham County Sheriff Scott Wrigglesworth. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me in.
Of course, this is the second time we're having you on right now.
Third,
He was
but who's
third, you're
counting?
right. Studio 10, First F4 for Mid-Michigan Matters, and now on the News
You
10
might even
Plus
see me at
desk.
5. Who knows?
There you go. We're just going to keep you busy today because we are making an impact, and there is such a great cause, helping Champions of the Heart, a nonprofit foundation founded by former Michigan State University assistant coach Mike Garland and his wife Cynthia. Now, a year ago, Mike Garland went into cardiac arrest, and some of your team members were there who helped save his life. Can you explain what they were able to do and the importance of that?
Yeah, even before we got there, 2 community members got involved, called 911 and started CPR on the scene. And when we got there, we took over, actually hooked up the AED to Coach Garland after performing CPR, while performing CPR. And then when Delhi Fire got there, those heroes came and kind of did the rest, right? Got him in the ambulance, got him to the hospital, and ultimately they all saved Coach Garland's life. And, the takeaway for me is time and willingness for people to get involved. All the time, I shouldn't say all the time, but sometimes we hear people say, I just can't do it. I didn't know what to do. Well, here's the good news. If you call 911 and don't know how to do CPR, which we're encouraging everybody to get trained, it's one of the Champion of the Heart's foundations, right? But if you don't know, 911 dispatch will walk you through what to do. Then if there is an AED available, the AED literally walks you step by step what to do with the AED. So pretty much anybody can perform this stuff if they're willing, and the sooner people can get involved, the more likely people's lives are going to be saved.
Like you just said, even if you don't know, even if you're not trained, you can call 911. Even the AED device will walk you through it. Like you said, Scott, time is of the essence here. A cardiac arrest can happen within seconds, and within minutes, you need to perform that life-saving measure or life-saving measures. And so only 10% of people who have cardiac arrest outside of the hospital end up living. The rest of the 90% end up dying. So Mike Garland was pronounced dead for 18 minutes. Again, if it weren't for the 2 Good Samaritans as well as your team members, he would not be here today. So speaking on how quickly you need to do this, it takes some time to call 911, explain your situation, explain that you need to perform CPR. What is the importance of just knowing?
Yeah, actually, it doesn't take much time to call.
Okay, well,
call
that's good.
911. Call 911 and then start to act. Tell the dispatch what you have. They can then get police and fire EMS on the way. And then if you're trained in CPR, put your phone on speakerphone and tell the dispatcher what you're doing. They can actually help you and remind you how to do it. If you're not sure what to do, the dispatcher will walk you through it. And the sooner that happens, you talked about the 10% survival rate outside of the hospital. The reason is because the trained professionals aren't necessarily there. So the more we can get people trained, you don't have to be a policeman or a fireman or EMS. The more we get people trained, which is exactly what Coach Garland's trying to do with Champions of the Heart, the more likely that person's going to survive. It's just that simple. So it's really important for our community to get trained in this, because in reality, they're the ones that likely are going to have the most impact on whether that person lives or dies.
Exactly, and saving lives is important, right? And so the Ingham County Sheriff's Office, and just in Ingham County, how many cardiac arrest reports have you responded to within the past year or so?
Yeah, I don't have the number of how many cardiac arrests we've responded to or been first on scene, but I can tell you since 2020 we've actually deployed or employed our AED machines 52 different times. And by that I mean actually attached them to a person that was in cardiac arrest, and the AED was able to do its thing, and many of those people survived. So, we're seeing more and more AEDs in public, right? Let's say something happened at the station today. I heard there's an AED in the station. So if somebody was willing to get involved, call 911, say bring me the AED, and then start doing CPR, it's very, very likely that that person is going to survive that event.
Exactly. Now, I want to speak on why you're here today. For our Make an Impact telethon, those phone banks opened up 3 o'clock today. They close at 6:30, so you still have time. You can call 517-346-8822. And Scott, you're here because you wanted to be part of that mission. Can you just speak on how important this is to you in helping?
I was watching the morning news on TV 10 here about a week ago, and I saw that this was coming up, and I'm like, I want to be a part of that. So I got a hold of your team, and kind of the cool thing that born of that is I've been here doing some interviews, but we actually have Deputy Panwas, who was one of the 3 deputies that helped save Coach Garland's life, and we actually have 2 Delhi Township firemen that were on scene, and we actually have one of the citizens coming in to start to help man the phones. And I think that's a pretty cool rest of the story with respect to this as well.
You know, we appreciate you among the others who are not only providing service out in the community, but taking that time and that initiative to come in and continue helping. Anything else that you'd like to say on Champions of the Heart or just the cardiac arrest life-saving measures?
No, I would just say to the community, if you're out there and thinking, man, I don't know if I could do that, get yourself trained. Stay calm, call 911. They can walk you through it. Anybody can do this as long as you're willing, and the quicker you're willing to get involved, the more likely that person's going to survive. It's just that simple.
It's simple, and like you said, you can call, and even just doing the training is simple.
AED is simple. I mean, it's most of this stuff is anybody can do it, no matter age or size. We're seeing a lot of CPR training in school-age kids now too.
Yeah.
Middle school and high school kids. So God forbid it happens in the school, they can act again to minimize the amount of time that person's down. So just get involved, be willing, take a deep breath, call 911, and the rest we can walk you through if you're not officially trained.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time today and running around and helping us share the impact of Champions of the Heart and passing that forward.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. See Coach Garland tonight. Every time I see him, it's an amazing sight to know that he was down for 18 minutes and now he's walking, talking, happy and healthy, and trying to pay it forward in our community to make sure the next person that has an issue like him is going to survive just like he did.
There you go. Well, he is in the phone bank. I'll free you up here so you can go talk to him. But real quick, I will share the mission and you can check it out.
Hey Mike, it's been over 40 years you and I have been together, but you have now taken on a foundation that maybe is your best accomplishment ever. Tell me a little bit about it.
Absolutely, Tom. And first of all, me and Cynthia really appreciate your support in what we're trying to do to save more lives by getting more hands on hearts. And it's so important that we get the word out that lives can be saved if we have enough hands to get on hearts to get those victims through that 4-minute timely segment that they have to have someone there to actually start their heart up again like I had those two guys.
Well, you're a walking miracle if you ask me, and I'm so thankful for the men that saved you, but I'm really thankful now that, like you've done my entire life with you, you're trying to make sure other people get help like you get help. And I'm just proud of you. I'm proud of Cynthia. A lot of people hide behind that. You've stepped forward, you've told your story, and now you want results on how we can make this world a better place.
Well, Tom, what I'm doing, I'm following your lead, and it's been all about people ever since I've been here coaching with you. And you know what? That's what we're doing with this foundation.
Well, I got a feeling there's another national championship right around the corner, and it's the championship of the Heart Foundation that you started.
All right, again, that is Champions of the Heart. You just heard from Coach Tom Izzo as well as Mike Garland, the importance of the Champions of the Heart Foundation. You know that Mike Garland's able to speak on personal experience, the impact and significance of getting AED device trained as well as CPR trained. So I do want to share a little bit more about where you can go to find more information, to check it out and really know what you're donating toward. So here I'm going to pull up our website, or the championsoftheheart.net. So their website, again, championsoftheheart.net. If I scroll down on their homepage here, you're going to see a piece that Ann Emmerich actually did on Mike Garland a year ago when he went into cardiac arrest. An incredible story. I believe it's 6 to 8 minutes long. It's a longer piece, but there's a lot of information that goes into it. And I mean, I don't blame her. You can't cut a story down like this. It's really significant, really speaks on the importance of knowing how to save lives through that CPR and AED training. And I do want to mention there is a difference between heart attacks and cardiac arrest. We do have Aaron Bowling, who's going to have more on that coming up on News 10 at 5:30 today. But in the meantime, you can watch Ann Emmerich's piece on Mike Garland and really see what the Champions of the Heart Foundation is helping towards. So without that CPR and AED life-saving measure that he was able to get from two Good Samaritans as well as first responders. And you just heard Ingham County Sheriff Scott Wrigglesworth mention that he would not be here today. So he is passing forward the measures that help save his life. He wants to train others in the community to continue to help save people's lives. You're going to see that they had an event on October 16th that has since passed. However, you can always go back here for any CPR trainings that are coming up. You can also donate. And also what you can do today is call 517-346-8822. That is how you can make monetary donations to our News 10 phone banks. All of that money helping the Champions of the Heart Foundation. Again, the mission is right here. Really helps towards a great mission, and such a great guy, Mike Garland, and his wife Cynthia, and it's amazing that they're using the experience that he went through, again, to help other people in the community. You never know if a cardiac arrest will happen. It can happen within seconds, and you need to perform the life-saving measures within minutes. So CPR and AED training, it is simple. Go get trained, and you can save lives. We thank you again for helping us make an impact here at News 10. Call those phone banks. They're open until 6:30 today. 517-346-8822. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everyone.